Among the notorious members of the Mongols Motorcycle Club, there's one name that sends chills down even the toughest spines. Scott Jr. Erikson, a man feared by rivals, respected by brothers, and remembered as one of the most relentless leaders the outlaw biker world has ever seen. What earned him this reputation? What made even the Hells Angels tread lightly around his name? The Mongols Motorcycle Club began in 1969 in Montebello, California, founded by Hispanic Vietnam veterans who had been rejected by the Hells Angels. Within 15 years, the Mongols transformed into one of the most feared outlaw motorcycle gangs in America. They weren't just riding for the thrill. They were enforcing turf, protecting reputation, and expanding their criminal enterprise with brute force. Assault, intimidation, extortion, even murder. Nothing was off limits in their pursuit of power. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms named them the most violent outlaw motorcycle gang in the country. And in 1980, into this violent brotherhood stepped a young man named Scott Ereckson. Born in 1960 in San Diego, California, Junior didn't come from poverty or abuse like many others in the outlaw world. He was raised in a stable, middle-class home in a peaceful neighborhood. But even as a teenager, he chased chaos. Fights were frequent, weed was plentiful, and he had a knack for walking the line between adventure and danger. During a fishing trip at age 14, Junior saw a biker for the first time, clad in leather, covered in Mongols insignia. That image stayed with him. It wasn't just the bike, it was the power, the presence, the outlaw aura. At 18, Junior scraped together money by working construction and selling weed until he finally bought his first Harley-Davidson Superglide. The moment the engine roared to life, he knew this was the path he was born to ride. He quickly immersed himself in biker culture, learning of the bloody turf war between the Mongols and the Hells Angels over control of California. Riding around town, he lived on the edge of this war zone, watching it unfold and eventually stepping right into the fire. At 19, he was still barred from many clubs and bars due to his age. But that changed when he met a Mongol who told him, "Ride with us, and you're welcomed anywhere." Junior started joining weekend runs. Eventually, he was invited to their San Diego clubhouse. He wasn't patched yet, but he felt the brotherhood instantly. The wild parties, the loyalty, the danger, it all felt like home. But this life wasn't just fast bikes and loud music. It was violent, deadly, and unforgiving. Riding with the Mongols meant adopting their enemies as your own. Junior, armed with an imposing physique and raw determination, dove headfirst into that world. He fought in bar brawls, collected debts, and earned a reputation as a tough, loyal brother. Soon he became the youngest prospect in club history. He earned his patch through blood, dedication, and fearlessness. But membership came with a cost. Within his first year, 3 Mongols were killed. And then, Junior found himself in a fatal altercation with a rival gang. The fight led to casualties and sparked a media frenzy. The Mongols were once again blamed, and Junior was on the run. Fleeing the heat, he hid in Tulsa, Oklahoma, under a fake identity. But when he heard that several of his brothers had been arrested, Junior did what few would: he turned himself in. Charged in connection to a murder, he took a plea deal for voluntary manslaughter. Though he pulled the trigger, he refused to let his brothers take the fall. It was a move that cemented his loyalty in the outlaw code. After serving his time, Junior came back harder and more respected than ever. He quickly climbed the ranks, vice president of the San Diego chapter, and then national president. He would serve as national president not once, but 4 times, helping turn the Mongols into a global powerhouse. Under Junior's leadership, the club expanded beyond the US, gaining international recognition. He wasn't just muscle, he was strategy. He enforced the code, protected the brand, and crushed enemies without hesitation. But his rise wasn't without consequences. The Mongols were constantly at war, especially with their oldest rivals, the Hells Angels. Violent clashes escalated under Junior's watch. His reputation became that of a man who wouldn't back down, no matter the odds. In 1998, a bar altercation led to Junior's arrest. He claimed self-defense, but the authorities saw a chance to lock up the Mongols' most dangerous figure. The arrest sparked a lengthy legal battle and another stint behind bars. Still, Junior remained a central figure in the club, even from prison. Letters, messages, and orders made their way out. His influence remained untouched. What sets the Mongols apart is more than just their violence. It's their discipline, their structure, their code. They even developed a secret language to evade law enforcement. Code 55, for example, signaled members to hide their colors and stay low. It was a way to blend in, avoid detection, and move under the radar. Even after facing 270 warrants at once and a $500,000 federal fine, the Mongols stayed standing. They didn't flinch. Law enforcement had hoped to cripple the organization, legally, financially, and symbolically. But the Brotherhood proved far more resilient than anticipated. When a federal judge tried to strip them of their most sacred emblem, the Mongols' patch, it was more than just a legal fight. It was a war for their identity. To wear that patch is to wear your life, your loyalty, your blood oath. And in a historic courtroom battle, the Mongols emerged victorious. The judge ruled that banning their insignia would violate their First Amendment rights. The patch stayed, and so did the message. The Mongols weren't going anywhere. Scott Jr. Erickson's story is just one chapter in the long, violent history of the Mongols, but it's a chapter that defined an era. His rise from a curious teenager on the edge of rebellion to a feared national president is a journey etched into the fabric of outlaw biker culture. He led not with words but with action, facing bullets, prison time, and betrayal without ever folding. He bled for the club, fought for its survival, and did time to protect his brothers. That kind of loyalty is rare, and in the outlaw world, it's everything. Junior tried more than once to leave the life behind, to disappear from the radar, start fresh, and live without the weight of the patch on his back. But for men like him, there is no escape. The life follows you. It haunts you. It defines you. Peace was something he chased but never caught, because once you rise that high in a brotherhood like the Mongols, you never truly get to walk away. In the end, Scott Jr. Erikson became more than just a name on a patch or a legend in biker folklore. He became the embodiment of everything the Mongols stood for: unwavering loyalty, ironclad brotherhood, and a readiness to go to war for what you believe in. His name is spoken in hushed tones by rivals and with reverence by brothers. In the streets, in the prisons, and in the chapters that stretch from California to Australia, his legacy rides on, etched into every mile the Mongols cover. Today, the Mongols remain one of the most feared and powerful outlaw motorcycle clubs in the United States and beyond. Their battles are far from over, but every time a Mongol fires up his bike, dons the patch and hits the road, he carries more than just the weight of the present. He carries the legacy of those who came before him. He carries the ghost of Junior, and that ghost, it rides with them still. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload.